Welcome everyone to the Mad Stream by the Crossroads. It's me, Mad Cheesemo, Sir Mad Cheesemo of the House Valerian, because I too am black adjacent.
Oh, that explains the purple eyes.
Thank you. And joining me as always is MrGrantGregory. Good to see you, sir.
Yeah, good to see you too, buddy. Just for those out there, Scott, he spilled a bunch of his hair products all over his computer, and so he has to try and find another device. Hopefully, he'll be here soon, and who knows, Gary might even show up this week. It's a definite maybe.
I don't see why that was necessary. Like I'm here, I'm hosting as always. I am saving Scott's channel pretty much on my own, and joining us for the first time as I am host. Mason from Freefolk of Fandom.
What's going on, everybody? It's good to be here.
It's great to have you.
I'm just going to turn your mic up a bit, Mason. You're a bit quiet.
Yeah, I've been having some trouble.
Turn it back down. The gain's way too high. Like, You hear it?
Yeah.
Alrighty. I'm gonna be honest with everyone in the chat and with you on the panel. I've never watched this stream, so I don't know what he usually starts with.
First thing we say hello to people in the chat, so we'll do that.
Oh, yeah, the lovely Sherry is here as always. She's one of the most, what would you say, like consistent people in the chat. Like
she's the
awesome.
loveliest and the most Sherriest, I definitely think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Top 3 Sherrys.
Yep. Matt
That's me.
Yeah. Oh, I see the resemblance.
Yeah. The hat. Yeah.
All right. Does this sound better?
Absolutely not.
No. It's all right.
not even a little.
Wonderful.
Here we have Keely Chow.
Joseph Dredd. Oh, I like that he went with the Sylvester Stallone Dredd and not the Carl Urban
one. Yeah.
Wait, no. Sylvester Stallone's the superior Dredd. What are you talking about?
How dare you?
You know that whole thing? Remember?
Yeah.
The other one was just a ripoff of the Raid. Facts. Oh, Tim F. as well. Playing the drums, doing the drumming thing. Okay, well, just gonna ignore that one.
Yep. You have E. Clay Thomas.
Did this make it better at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're just quieter, so you'll have to talk a bit louder, a bit closer to the mic.
My mic is right in my face, so I'll just try and talk very loud.
That's better. That's fine.
I see what you're saying about Judge Dredd not never removing his helmet, except if you're Stallone. You're not going to deny the people that lovely mug,
That's
Shane
true.
Nolan, saying hello to other people. Katana Martin, did I get
Katina.
it? Katana.
You're going to emphasize the T. Katina.
Katina.
There we go.
Katina. Oh, it's Italian.
Yeah, I think so. You got to say it with your fingers also.
Katina. I did it underneath the camera. You couldn't see, but I did go Katina.
Well, that makes perfect sense, that we
Oh,
can
absolutely.
see. So, what did you think of the episode?
Oh, me, I best one. I especially compared to last week's. Last week, I felt it was a lull. Like I really just did not care about last week's episode. Like I get it, I get what's happening, but I thought this week was far better, man. I mean, just the interactions between characters, I thought really they really stepped it up this week, especially with King Viserys and Sir Holland. I get that name right?
Sure, we'll go with that. I don't even know who you talk. Oh, you mean his hand?
Yeah, the Hand of the King.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah, no, it was good. He's you get a little bit of a different side to him, and I quite like it.
To who?
Maybe to the Hand. Maybe he's not as virtuous as he seemed. What did you think overall, Mason?
Yeah, I was starting to think that he might be in a conspiracy trying to get more power because of he has his son say that thing to Allison.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Can't put he's he's definitely the master of whisperers for this show. And yeah, so it's I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm kind of bummed that we're gonna have like some new cast next week and everything, because you finally really get into the characters and the actors and everything, and then it's almost like we've got to start from scratch, because I can guarantee they're going to do something next week, and it's just not going to feel like Rhaenyra or Alicent, and it's just going to take us out of it. That's what I'm worried about.
I was shocked. I actually did not know that this was coming.
Oh, okay. So yeah.
So when the preview for next week started, I'm like, oh, cool. This would have been cool to tell someone.
Yeah, we just got done watching the prequel for the prequel.
Yeah. Essentially, yeah. This was the teaser trailer for the whole thing. But yeah, I'm overall I definitely think it's early to say, but it's giving me early days of Game of Thrones vibes. Like this is the point where it'll be tested whether it's still a good series or not. But
yeah, because like you have to feel for the actors, like the people that are coming in to replace them, because like it's all on you if you don't match, and it's not even that high of a bar if we're gonna be honest, but if you can't convince us that they are the older versions of them, it's done. The show hinges on their performances.
Absolutely, and it could be one of these things, like what happened with Jason Momoa. He was only in for 7 episodes or 6 episodes in the original series, and not that he wasn't famous for them, but that's what launched his career. It could be the same for these girls. We don't know yet, because they seem to be Ali seems to really be embracing the fans, which is definitely a good thing. I can't even remember how this episode started off. I was just trying to go back.
It starts off with Daemon.
Daemon,
yes,
that's right.
Going to see his lady, his wife. Yeah, who immediately I'm like, oh boy, she kind of deserves it. You know what I mean? Like, she's a little mouthy.
Okay. When you watched it, what did you think happened between the interaction between him, her, and the horse?
Oh, she got all like, oh no, he's gonna come after me. Let me get the bow, and he just walked towards the horse, and the horse like does a thing, and then he takes that extra step, I guess, like. And the horse fell back onto her. Like, obviously, that's what happened. We saw that the horse fell, but like he didn't use the force. I know that for sure. Like, I'm not sure how. Dragon power.
See, well, actually, I think the way I took it is it was not exactly dragon power, but I think because he stunk of the dragon and it frightened the horse.
Oh,
So when the horse goes to rear up, but some people are saying that it looked like when the horse reared up that he pushed the horse.
No, he didn't make contact with the horse.
I didn't think he made. Yeah, that's what I want. That's because I went and had a look at it again, and I couldn't quite tell because the camera is it's really tricky to see
different angle.
Where
Yeah.
Yeah. But props to the stunt person on there, because that kind of looked real.
It kind of looked real.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it did. So the part I like what she's like, oh, you come to finally consummate the marriage. That thing that she said there, if that is known, that's going to put a big hindrance into his plan of the stuff that he was talking about later on. So
yeah.
It kind of looks like when she reaches back, the horse gets kind of startled.
Yeah,
what's going on, and then Daemon uses that to like make sure it goes back onto her.
Yeah.
Probably because he like smells of dragon. But,
so he does reach up to the horse. Did you see that?
Yeah. Saying that was his action pushing, but to me it looked like he was just putting his hands up as if he thought the horse was going to buck him.
To buck him?
Yeah, like no, to hit him the hooves.
Oh.
Yeah, like stomp him, sort of thing.
Oh, you thought it? Yeah. You think it's like it was a defensive?
A defensive sort of thing. Yeah. I'm not too sure. I wonder what the chat thinks. Do you think it was? Do you think he pushed it, or was he a happy coincidence?
Let's see. Looks like somebody agreed with me that it was the Force.
Eclay thinks
Hey,
it's
Brahma.
a fortunate accident.
Holy shit! It's a Madgarian takeover. Can you highlight Soul Assassin my Chatimal? I love it.
He is the Mad King after all.
It's true, yeah. Let's see. I don't even watch Doomcock. Oh, that's weird. So yeah, nobody. I think it was a fortunate accident. It feels a little more than an accident.
Well, do you think that he initially went there to kill her?
So
Or
that's
did he
hard.
just-
You
or did he
really
just
can't
show
get a
off his-
read on him.
Yeah, or did he just go there to show off his cool new cloak that he's got?
I think that his reason for going there certainly was to end the marriage.
Yeah, because he's actively been trying to find ways around doing that. You know, he tried to invoke the old the old Targaryen tradition of having multiple wives. That didn't work, sort of thing. Hasn't consummated the marriage, so. But yeah, I can see that it wasn't just a one-sided relationship where it wasn't like she was this doting, affectionate wife and he was just a complete asshole. They genuinely hate each other, and I'm assuming that their marriage was based purely and simply on his brother's marriage to Lady Arryn, because this is their bannerman as well. So I'm like, oh, okay, maybe this was like, okay, you get to marry one in this family, and then we'll give you that one. And I mean, it kind of makes sense that they hate each other. And also, I think it's kind of implied that, what is it? She prefers the duck over the goose or something. Was the analogy that I used later on? That,
Oh
yeah,
boy,
yeah.
I did not care for. We may not need to want to skip ahead, but to touch on that, like I feel like it's somebody that saw Spartacus, but was like, no, but we don't need it to be as subtle as that. We really need to spell it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh,
if
apparently
anybody's seen
Boost
Spartacus.
Yeah. Boost knows what it is. Geese are gay. There we go. That's what it is. So, yeah.
I think dragon smell. We got one for I think dragon smell. He rubbed dragon poo all over himself in the horse gut. It would be nice that if they would have told us this or shown us this. Like if not, then we're just speculating.
They've hinted about the stench of the dragons and everything earlier on.
Right.
So I mean that's what they do with a lot of stuff. They infer a lot of stuff. What do you think, Spork?
I'm on an old school Dell. I have no clue what's going on, and where are we?
I'm rocking it as always.
Yeah. So we're
saving the channel.
We're at the part where we're discussing whether he pushed the horse, whether the horse smelt the dragon, whether there was the force used.
Yeah. So, from what I remember reading, because I read the books, it was implied he might have had something to do with it, and now they're making it canon that he did, which kind of like wish they made it kind of again, did he or didn't he?
They still kind of digging away though, because
he didn't really do it until he picked up a rock.
Yeah, that definitely.
All we know is he could have been going here. Here's a nice pillow, and then someone could have just walked past and accidentally stood on it. We don't know. We didn't see it.
Also, she was the one that made the aggressive first move. It's on her.
That was the most Chad move of the episode, though. I always knew you couldn't finish. I'm like,
yeah, I know. She's like,
there, like you're paralyzed. You can't do anything. Yeah, women.
That's damn hardcore, bro. That is hardcore that she did that.
I'm surprised she didn't yell out, "I bet you have a small penis." You know what I mean?
I mean, she admits that they never consummated their marriage. So we have that. We keep getting he never gets it up.
Going to play into something later on, like what he mentions at the dinner scene about the inheritance and everything. Because if he hasn't consummated the marriage, he would have no claim.
They have no proof, though.
Yeah. But I'm saying if she made it known.
Yeah, but she's a woman, though.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that to be the the misogynist. You know what I mean? I'm being for real. Like, just because he may have told her cousin, whiny pants that they didn't, that doesn't mean anyone's gonna believe if he says, no, we totally did, bro.
Why are we totally just looking at a horse neck?
Oh, I don't know. I've never watched this stream before. I don't know how you do this thing with the
You can't hit play. You can't hit play, but you can just jump a little bit. Do not hit play though. There, that's a good one. That's a good picture. Good picture.
Yeah. Look at how
Better than
big
horse
his
neck.
hat is.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, the hood. Yeah.
I still think I don't think he went there to kill. I think he went there to say, "Look at my cool new outfit."
Did he go there to kill her? I don't think so.
Well,
Did she kill herself? I think
absolutely.
Mostly, he just went to touch the horse. Now, I like the idea that the smell of the dragon scared the horse because, of course, a horse would be scared of the smell of a dragon. I mean, that's a definite. But can we just take a step back and just appreciate how much better this show is than the Rings of Power? Like,
I don't even want to compare them anymore.
Yeah,
it's not even comparable.
No, like it's to the point where it's not even a contrast because it's like comparing, I don't know, steak to shit. One of them's actually food, and it's gone beyond that. Anything is better than that. She-Hulk is better than that.
Yeah, Jayne and I talked about this on Saturday Dump with Mad about how She-Hulk is.
What was it? What was that called?
Saturday Mad's Dump.
No, it's not the show. I don't want to lose subscribers, so thank you. Oh, by the way, thank you everybody. I hit 3K. I'm actually at 340 now, or 3040. I appreciate everybody, all the new subscribers. Most of you guys are Shorts fans, so you probably won't even watch this. But if you do, we love House of the Dragon, and we love you. Thank you.
I really thought you were gonna think.
What?
I really thought you were gonna thank me for covering on your Saturday stream last minute when you said, "Oh, thank you," and then you didn't.
Well, you didn't let me finish, dude. It's all about Mad. I was gonna bring it up in the rear, just like you like it, with you.
Just like Daemon, you never finish, do you?
Yeah, I never finish. I guess.
Finish in your rear. That's exactly
Thank you.
What you just said.
Thank you, Mason. Let me finish in Mad's rear. What I was trying to say is, without Mad and people like Mad, my channel would not be here where it is now. People that step up and try to take way more credit than they should, like Mad. I appreciate those people. I love you. I love you.
Anyway, like I was saying on Saturday Mad Dump, Jayne and I were talking about how She-Hulk is more palatable than Rings of Power. And it's not even just because it's 22 minutes with 9 minutes of credits. It's because I don't know, it just it moves. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't do anything, but it has a movement to it. You start at the beginning and then you hit the middle and then you hit the end. Rings of Power, you're just sitting there.
Oh,
I haven't even watched this most recent one.
I haven't watched the last two.
It's getting more painful than everything. They do an entire psych out scene based purely simply just for the audience. Everyone knows what's going on in the show, yet they still do it. It makes zero sense.
The difference with the subtlety in this show and the blatant.
Has it?
This show, House of the Dragon, has some subtle moments, just those moments where they bring up somebody like Daemon and Viserys changes the subject, or you don't have to. He doesn't have to be I can't stand my brother.
Even he's like, "Oh my god, you're here to kill me, so you can take the inheritance of Runestone."
Yeah, well, there's moments.
That's what would have been said if it was the other stupid show. But teasing that show, it kind of feels like making fun of the kid that's dribbling in a wheelchair. It's just sure you could do it, it's easy, but there's no sport in it anymore.
Right.
I think this is my favorite episode, by the way. I think this is my favorite episode. It was written by a woman, which I was a little surprised.
Wow,
based on,
and you're admitting it.
Yeah,
that's a big step,
no, I was
buddy.
really surprised because the conversation that Viserys and Sir Holland have while he's in the bathtub, that did not feel like it was something that was written by. Because it's tied in so closely with masculinity and that that wildness that men have to prove themselves, and
Do you like geese?
I didn't care for that. No, that was somebody that didn't get.
The analogy in the book was way better.
Yeah,
And also, it was better in Spartacus too. Yeah.
Yeah, like they weren't subtle about anything there.
Zombie Box review with a $5 super sticker, and it's of something because apparently the thing just went down on my end.
I can't check it or I'm scared I'll crash. So thank you, Andy.
I'm looking
Zombie
at it.
Box review is an awesome.
Critical hit. It's a Game Boy Cube thingy controller doing a fist pump in the air.
Yeah,
my man.
Andy's the man. Actually, I'm at 3,043 now. I keep gaining subs like every minute. It's crazy. Over 1 million views, 15,000 watch hours. No big whoop. Back to House of the Dragons, like our good friend over here says. I do have a question. Someone brought it up in the chat. Let me get back to it. I think it was Johnny Boy or something. Yeah, Johnny Boy says, if I can add that. Is it added? I can't tell.
It's added.
So Daemon shows up possibly by dragon. No, I would say definitely by dragon. And no one sighted the dragon flying in or out. Okay, there's missing moments in the show. I thought the same thing. I'm like, no one knew he was there.
Here's the thing: if no one saw the dragon and he flew it somewhere, he could have easily walked. He could have easily walked a while to get there, so she wouldn't spot the dragon. That's the thing. Like if his intention was to go
he would have had
to
fly it. Like, I mean, the Vale is all mountains, dude. Now, Runestone might be at the base of the mountain, if I'm remembering that correctly. Runestone is towards the base. I might be wrong about that. But can we even talk about, just look at her armor. Look at so the Royces are like of the first men. In the Vale, that's a big deal because in the Vale, they're mostly Andal descent, but the Royce are first men, and they have like these bronze armor with like the head of House Royce usually wears a full bronze suit with runes and stuff. But I have to say the way they did theirs with like the boiled leather. So
I didn't hear
they
either one
are
of y'all.
bannermen of the Aarons. Yeah, they're bannermen of the Aarons. Can you hear me? Because I feel like I'm freezing up.
No, it was because of the talking.
But they are. Oh, they are originally. They were the kings of the Vale, and then the Aarons came and literally, flew a massive eagle in and destroyed them and took over.
Oh, I just realized.
At least that's what the histories say. Yeah.
Yeah, slight boob armor.
She actually looks like a female. She's a badass too. Like they did her wrong how she died, but you know what? At least they dealt with it. I just felt like I kind of wanted that be kept a mystery. Did he or didn't he? And in a way, when he picked up the rock, I had a feeling I think he might have.
Yeah. Well, I think the mystery now is did he go there to kill her? I'm pretty sure.
That was funny. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I think one way or another.
I don't know. That was my thought on it. Was that planned to kill her?
Well, Mason, if he did, he didn't. Did he bring a weapon?
Killing her, or just scaring her? He was smart to use a rock because you're not going to use a sword because then there's questions.
Or dragonfire.
But then it's maybe one of 4 people. But did he plan on that horse kicking back like that? I don't know.
I think he just went there to say that, by the way, our marriage is done.
Yeah.
I think
he went there.
I think he was going there to say no.
I think he needed the castle because, last episode, Rhaenyra was going to all of the different suitors, trying to find one to help her and secure her claim to the throne. So now he has inherited the castle.
Yeah, I forgot. Tina, my I'm sorry, Mason. Tina, my computer crapped out. I'm using a laptop and I completely blanked. But yes, we send Tina an invite. She is our female representation every episode. Jayne is in here. So for all the odd numbers, it's Tina. So please send Tina a invite. Sorry about that, buddy. My computer's crap right now. I am using a Dell laptop from the 30s. Mason, so say that one more time.
So last episode, Rhaenyra was going around trying to find a suitor, and she was going and seeing who would help secure her claim to the Iron Throne. But now, because of Daemon going here, he
Yeah.
now has a castle, and the Arryn is one of the like most secure places in Westeros.
Oh, the Vale?
So
Hell
now-
yeah.
Yeah, the Vale. Sorry. So now, like he has a castle. Now he's kind of positioned himself where he could be a possible suitor.
Yeah, valid
Heir-
point. I mean,
Right,
he could.
But that doesn't answer whether or not like he went there to kill her, though, does it?
Well, he went
mean-
there to make sure he would get the castle, one way or another.
And the only way out of it is, I mean, the faith would have to absolve the marriage, and they would never do that. So even though they're of the old gods, I'm guessing the faith married them. Because the Royce, I think, are one of the only old god followers of the old god in the Vale. One of the only. There's probably
What
a few
could-
more, but
I mean, if he wanted to divorce his wife or whatever, in the what'd you call them? The not the church or
the faith.
the faith. Yeah,
Yeah.
if they wouldn't, couldn't he just start a faith of Dragonstone?
Well, see, this is the
Like
thing.
Church of England.
Close enough, though, in a way, even though you're talking about it, but it is kind of close because with the dragons, so the Targaryens, the faith just can't stand them. The faith has tried to overthrow them. Magar the Cruel stopped them. And the thing with the faith is they're fearful of the Targaryens, so they allow them to do things they would allow no other family to do, like take 2 wives. So, like he was talking about in earlier episodes, to make Rhaenyra his second wife, which would be kind of messed up, but it's not considered a second wife. It's like legit wife 1 and 1A. You know what I mean? Like she wouldn't be number 2. In the vein of which, you know, Aegon the Conqueror did. He had 2 sister wives of equal, even though Mor thought of his eldest sister as his like number 1 wife. So by taking her as a second wife, it would have been a slap in her face.
The 2 dragons out of the sister wives, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
She was deemed higher
But
up.
the younger one was hotter. Like he was in love with
Well,
the
yeah,
younger
she was
one,
younger.
married the older one.
So
yeah.
yeah,
He married the older one out of like, you know, I don't know, 100 years of
beauty.
tradition. Yeah. Oh God, that was one of the worst lines. But yeah, so he knew the faith wouldn't allow it. Viserys wouldn't allow it. So he had to end this marriage somehow. So to me, it had to be, she had to die.
he went there to give her the rock or the cock, and he chose the rock.
Yep. Yep.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Well, no,
But-
Shane, what I'm saying is it was for him, not tradition, but like taking 2 wives, taking multiple wives is a tradition of Valeria. That's what I meant by that.
Yeah, it was
Or
very
Targaryen.
Yeah.
No, Valerian. It's a Valerian
Valerian?
tradition, but yeah. So,
Does it kind of look like he's about to drop a sick beat?
dude, he looks terrible. I got boils all over my arm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't drop
They're
them.
doing
figure it.
fantastic. They're doing fantastic, showing the degradation of his like well-being.
Yeah. I mean, he slowly is just dying in front of us. Every episode, he gets closer to death.
And,
Yeah.
And
what if it's not gray stone or whatever, right? So it
No,
would
he
have
doesn't
to
have
be
gray
like some
scale.
kind of leprosy.
In a way, I think it's a type of leprosy. I agree with you on that. I mean, he's lost fingers to it. They keep saying it's from the Iron Throne. He
Right.
received some type of, cut, and the cut became infected. But this infection is now overtaking his whole body, and it blows my mind how sick he looked in this episode. That he can make it another 10 years, which he pretty much does.
Yeah, I was shocked to see him.
He looks like the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah, in a
the
way, yeah.
previews.
Did you ever see
I
a movie with Dan Aykroyd where he's a judge in like this like rundown town where people never escape? That's what he looks
Wait,
like.
is that?
Google it?
Wait, hold on. Did that have Digital Underground and another dude that had a penis for a nose?
I believe so, and he kills him.
Oh yeah,
yes,
nothing but trouble.
yes,
That's it.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's what he looks like in the next episode. But all in all,
Well-
because I missed the beginning of this, what did you guys think of the episode in all? What did you give it? Matt,
I thought it was the best so far. I thought it was the best so far. I mean,
Nice.
if I had to give it a, I loved it. I think everything I read today, or like even in the inside the episode, no one even bothered mentioning how great the scene between Viserys and Sir Holland was. That whole conversation, like I said, it's so entwined with masculinity, and it also goes to like the idea that they were trying, they're changing it from the book, and they're putting it through rather than having the fall be because of these two dumb girls fighting, it's because of him,
right,
and his failure. Well, but it doesn't add up
is,
to me though. By the way,
it is. I mean, it is the beginning of the end. His failure.
Yes.
Tina, how are you?
Hello.
I'll be back in a second.
Hello,
Okay.
Tina.
I wanted to say hello to her, and then just finish your thought, and then we'll ask you, Tina, what you thought. So, Matt, what do you mean?
What I mean is like their intention is to pivot the fall from it being the two girls fighting or whatever to to it being his fault, and they were like, because he doesn't validate whatever Dum-Dum's name is, the to be queen.
Rhaenyra.
Oh, it's
yeah.
No,
And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, there's so many times that he is clearly told people, no, she is my heir. She is my heir.
Everybody that asks him, he tells.
Yes.
Yeah.
But again, the showrunners and the writers are still saying that he didn't validate her as this, and that's why the drama happens. I'm like, I don't know what show you wrote this and you don't know.
That's why I don't watch Inside the Episode, Tina. I won't watch it because I feel like this show is much deeper than they even realize. What do you think?
I absolutely agree. I loved this episode. The heartbreak on Criston when she told him that, nah, you can still be my side piece, no problem, dude.
Right.
It just broke my heart. He acted so well with that. And I think that Paddy Constantine is doing a great job, and the fact that just showing the age and the illness and everything, and man, and I don't think they're making Viserys look out to be a weak king. I mean, he could have done more to have everybody swear fealty, but I mean, they already did it once, and we're gonna have to do it again. Like, hey guys, just in case you forgot, come on by the castle and and tell me you think she's my heir against one more time. So I don't know.
Right, and he makes a really valid point. Doesn't he make a valid point when he's like, I'm marrying her to the strongest sea lords in Westeros, which now will control what, 3 of the 4 dragons? Because Daemon, you can't really control, but right now 3 of the 4 dragon riders will be part of this family. Like, no one should be able to contest her. Nobody. But
well, no one would. That's the point. That's him doing this actually shows one thing. He's showing strength, where before he's normally just a wait and see sort of thing. All right, just if I don't poke the bear's not going to attack me. We're going to have peace, and it's the right thing to do for the realm. But then even in that scene in the bath, it's just like, well, what will be made of me? Like, what songs will be sung? Well, I mean, hindsight, he's
when he's in the chair, you mean? Yeah.
Well, no, in the bathtub, because he says like, what will they say I was a good king, and what songs, like.
No, wasn't he sitting on a? Was he in a bath?
He was in
I thought he was sitting in a chair. No,
he was in the bath, bro. No, he was in the bath, man.
Oh, I didn't realize that. We're gonna have to check that because I think you're all liars.
Okay.
Him in the bath.
Yeah, it's my favorite scene in the whole episode.
You're a liar too, Mason.
Yeah, he's actually lying back in a chair because he's got his.
Is he really?
He's in a chair. He's not in the bath. But I didn't want to,
Well, in my headcanon,
wrong.
It's cool.
In my headcanon, he was in a bubble bath.
He's naked in a bath.
He was in a bubble bath. Yeah, I really thought he was because they're
no matter where he was.
But even his line, he says,
man.
I've neither fought nor conquered nor suffered any great defeats. How will they remember? Like, wondering how would he be remembered?
And Sir Holland, whatever his name is, he's like, well, you kept the legacy strong from King, whatever his name is or whatever.
Jaharis.
Yeah, And I love when he talks
Well,
about.
even what Strong said is he's like, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it was just like the line about him saying like, you know, he wonders, like he there's a lot of times that he thinks about what if he was tested, and in that I think he uses the word not incubus, the
Crucible,
cuberus, crucible, yeah,
I often think that in the Crucible I may be forged a different man.
exactly, and it speaks
means
so
been tested. I only wish to have been spared.
right. No,
What I like what Strong
he-
says though. I'm sorry, I think I'm delayed a little bit. I apologize, guys. But what I
No, you're
think
good.
I like most is where Strong is like, most kings would wish to have a role like that, like where nothing happens. The ones that have been conquered or the ones that have lost great battles wish they had a rule like yours is. So it's always one or the other. Like either you conquer and you're this great king, or even if you lose and you're this defeated king, or you're just the king that got through a really peaceful time. Like they all probably are a little envious of each other.
right. Dang it.
Yeah, he says something like, "You're carrying the legacy of
I am so
Jayne,
delayed.
and
Yeah.
like peace is much better than having just a shining legacy."
Well, yeah, because like he says, like, would you?
I love those chair baths.
Whatever. Anyways, I thought it was a pillow. Anyways, it's not like I have a 70-inch TV with ultimate HD bullshit going on. I thought it was a bath the whole time. Anyway, but
And
yeah,
I was
no,
watching mine on my phone.
yeah, but you like had it right up to your face. But yeah, his hand says like, you know, even like those who have been tested would wish that they hadn't, and it's that idea of like finding out whether or not you would step up to that challenge. That's what, like, to being challenged, and that's what he wanted to know that, because like Ed Sisman writes, well, he wrote about like men past 40 get up nights, look out at the city lights, and wonder where they made the wrong turn and why life is so long, right? And he's at that point to where he's looking back and he's like, man,
Damn.
I never had that test to see if how I measure up. I was never measured. I was never tested. And it's something that is innate in men, in masculinity. It's just a part of it. And so he's struggling with the idea of like, yeah, you had peace though. You had peace, but he doesn't know himself as, he never had the opportunity to truly see if he is a man when men are needed the most. I think that's the point.
Which is sad for him,
I like
because I mean he had to make very difficult decisions, like when deciding to back his daughter as the heir, after his first wife Aemma died. I mean, after deciding to even get involved in the war in the Steppe Zones. I mean, that could have been a complete embarrassment.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. He doesn't realize the good and the bad he has done. And from what the books have given us, I find it kind of funny because we are to believe that he is he does make her his heir, but then he never really supports it as much as he does in the show. I mean, in the show, no one should question it at all. And the idea that her marrying a Valerian, like, he's in his mind, he should realize he cemented another 100 years of Targaryen if it were to work out that way,
Yeah, but none of that none of that can really replace what it is that he thinks he's missing, And
Right.
this scene resonated a lot with me because I've seen it a lot talking to other people, like to people that were in the army but they were never in combat, because they always feel like not that they're not worthy or whatever, but like, man, they didn't have that test, which sounds great in theory. You know what I mean? Like everybody wants to be Tristan
Right.
from Legends of the Fall. Nobody wants to be the other two, but the only people that say that are the ones that have never lived anything close to a life like Tristan. the ones that have would rather be the youngest brother who dies before he ever finds out like his ideals are bullshit. Like, you know what I mean?
No,
Like
absolutely.
he died
man. That is
with a
valid way
hope of
putting it.
better. And so, yeah, so I mean, I've seen this a lot with guys like that where, in supply,
he's
like you'll
also-
see it. Go ahead.
He's also looking death. I'm sorry, buddy. He's also looking death in the face. He knows his time
Absolutely.
is numbered. So you put it valid, and I understand what you mean. Guys who I know guys who deployed and all they did was like, work on the cars and stuff, and they were like, yeah,
Right, yeah.
I served, but did I ever actually accomplish what my other buddies did? And it's like, but when you take a step back and you're not the king or not one of those soldiers and you're somebody looking from the outside, yes, you definitely did serve. And yes, you definitely put yourself in a position where at any moment something could have happened. So everybody else sees him as like, you are the one that served, you are a king, but to himself, he's a failure. And I think that's what he thinks of himself. Like at this moment, I failed,
Yeah. And it has nothing to do with the air or anything else. And I think that's why I can't believe they didn't talk about the scene at all in the inside the episode. Like they were like, hey, it's all his fault. I'm like, okay, but like that's not how you're writing him. That's not how he's being portrayed. Like that he didn't, because he validates her all the time. And this
Right.
isn't about her at all. It is about him as a man, not just a king, but as a man, because everything is all like the hunt. The hunt's a perfect example of how soft everything has been for him, because like he's drunk off his ass and they're holding the deer for him to kill. And he just has to walk up and do it. And even, messes that up. It takes him two stabs to even kill the thing. And, it's just that like his whole life, he's only picked the battles that he was sure that he would win.
Right. And you know what I find also really interesting, and I don't know if anybody, with him sitting there decrepit, dying, thinking about how he may be remembered, if he will be remembered as a good king or a bad king, and really what he set up for future, what's going to happen in the future. And you have the model of Valeria behind him, fully developed, looking in its height and its glory right before the doom. So it's almost like it projects what was right before the fall. I don't know. I found that to be kind of interesting.
That is good. I like that.
The thing I don't get is like, the inside the studio
Do not care for
would
that.
the inside the episode, they probably didn't even realize that, they probably didn't even realize they put it behind that backdrop. They were just like, yeah, he's in a chair.
But they made
Or
sure to
bad.
tell you that Alicent wore green.
Oh my,
Yeah,
dude.
But actually, before we go any further, I'm 100% certain now that the Maesters are fucking with him, because that's
Oh,
now
absolutely.
Yes.
that's now the
Yeah,
fourth time that guy's come up with another remedy, and he even waited for the Maester to leave the room, which I think the Maester's sick as well, because he was moaning and groaning and all
Yep.
that as well. He waited for the Maester to leave. He looked over to see that he was gone, and then he handed him something to help him sleep.
Well,
See,
Tina
at first-
knows as much. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I hate this delay. Tina knows as much as I do. Like there is at least for me in the books, in the main saga, we all believe there has always been a Maester conspiracy to destroy the dragons. They thought dragons were unnatural beings, and the Targaryens were unnatural for the way they lived their lives. So for what he kept saying, the guy offered herbs that probably would have healed him, and he's like, no, we'll just bleed him some more. And I really believe now more than ever, at least in the TV series world, that there is definitely a Maester conspiracy.
Oh, okay. So for someone that their knowledge is only based on the show, right? The way I read that scene was that he's old and
Right.
he's set in his ways of how to treat things. And so, yeah, he walks away, he waits for him to leave, and he's like, hey, dude, takes, have a couple sips of this opium or whatever it is.
Have some milk of the poppy.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, not to undermine the Maester or whatever, you know what I mean? Because like you respect him, but also like recognizing that he needs a little bit more. That was until like I don't trust the hand at all anymore.
Yeah, I think I think when Otto was doing his devious sort of stuff, we could see what he was doing, but I think with the Strongs, it's I don't know. There's that. Oh, wait, yeah, you're kind of an ass, aren't you? I didn't see it earlier.
Nah,
Very
I think he's
sneaky.
not. I think they all have their own agendas, but out of all of them, I think that one's strong. That one is the one that, yes, he'll take his opportunity. Like at the wedding, he nodded to his brother to go save the princess because that will put the Strongs in a good light with the king.
Right.
But I don't think he is as backstabbing as Otto is. But I think, Mason, you were going to touch on the Maesters. Now, for anybody, before Mason says what he was going to say, anybody who's never read the book, Maesters drop their last names, so you never know what family they were with. And there has been many times throughout history that they set up families and it looks like they're doing it in a positive light, but what happens is the fall of their family, or something dramatic like between the Starks, how the fathers and the Starks were, the fathers were burned alive and things like that. Like the Maesters were the ones that pushed them to keep marrying different houses outside of the North, which they never did. And we find that out from a lady, I'm forgetting her name. She tells it in the book series. But Mason, what were you going to touch on with the Maesters? Were you going to say something?
The Grand Maester has been leeching King Viserys for years, and it has not helped at all. His condition has gotten much worse.
To be seen.
Ever consider, trying to do anything else? It's not like, okay, this isn't working. Let me try something else. He's just like, no, let's do that again. Even though he's already lost 2 fingers, and there was something on his arm. I don't know if it was like an ointment or something that was just rubbed on it, or if that was just.
No, I think those were.
That's leprosy.
Hard up.
Yeah, that was his skin, and I think
can't
Shane
wait to see the memes about you.
Shane put it perfectly. The father is a good man. The sons have their own agendas, like the crippled one that was like, I hope the princess is well.
He's creepy.
I mean, they could not have made it any more obvious unless they had a mustache that he was twirling as he said this. Like, he is so blatant. Like, come on, girl. Bitch, you can't see that he's a bad guy? Like, how do you not know this?
He's clearly trying to, get her favor. He's telling her something without being, treasonous. Like, Viserys threatened to kill the last guy who questioned... He
does it out of concern.
But he's like, I heard the Grand Maester brought the princess some tea. I hope she's doing okay. And he gives Alicent enough clues to figure out what was going on without him just flat out saying it.
I know. I think it was just more of
no, I'm sorry, dude.
Your delay is killing me.
It's killing me too, dude. I can't stand it. But Matt, something that I think you agree with me wholeheartedly, when Cole is being questioned by the Queen, you don't admit to anything until she's done asking the question.
Right? You volunteered that shit, bro. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Like, what, bro? And then so when it happened, I'm like, oh, wait. So is she just going to keep her like that in her pocket? Maybe that she can use him later. You know what I mean? Like, because information is definitely a currency in this world. Like, and if you can hold it over somebody, that's really going to come in handy down the road. I'm like, okay, so she's like, I'm going to play 4D chess. Oops. He went.
Okay.
He was gonna go.
Yep.
So
he's just like, the dude is like, he realized, I love how he's like, hey, you just not killed me. Just don't kill me and torture me. Just kill me. But I soiled my white jersey. Shut up.
So I've been thinking about this, and the more I think about it, the more I feel like sorry for Sir Criston Cole. Because of Rhaenyra, he chooses to soil his cloak, and then she kind of just casts him aside when he's trying to make things right from his perspective and say if we get married, it'll be better in the eyes of the gods or whatever.
Oh,
and he's trying to make things right, and she's like, you know what? No, you're just gonna be my plaything, my boy toy. He's like,
I
and
I don't agree with that at all. Like I really think
he does the honorable thing when Alicent's questioning him. He's like, look, I did it. He doesn't try and like, what? I have no idea what you're talking about. This is outrageous. He owns up to it. And it's a stupid move, but it is, he's trying to correct his mistake. I felt like.
No, I think he is a lovesick child. Like he's a teenager. Because you know, the first time he ever
simp.
had,
He's a simp.
well,
No.
I wasn't going to use that because you know it's a different time. But no, well, simp, like they don't ever get laid though. He actually got laid. But I'm saying like the first time he ever got in, he fell in love because that's what happens a lot of times with guys. They just fall in love, and he wasn't even listening to her when she was trying to explain like, hey, look, homeboy, like you know he likes goose or whatever the hell, you know, bad analogy I used that I tried to, you know, look like Spartacus, but he wouldn't listen to it because all he saw was that she is with someone else. And he did not allow her to be like, yeah, but you know, he's a goose lover. Like you, me, we can still do our thing.
He reminded me of Gendry from the first period. Or how, hey, this is great. You know, I've solved all of our problems. You know, you can come run away with me. And Arya's like, no, that's not who I am. It was kind of the same thing, I think, with Rhaenyra going, yeah, that'd be awesome, but you know, I've got this responsibility.
I kind of thought more of it like Robb Stark, like he's injured and in bed, and then with Jayne what's her name? Westerling, is that right? Is that the girl that becomes his wife?
Westerling.
Yeah,
Yep.
And she comes in
the books.
and then he realizes like he's taken advantage of her and dishonored her, and tries to do the right thing, but ends up doing something bad to the phrase. That's kind of where I thought of it.
Yeah. I'm gonna actually, guys, my computer is killing me. Zaxx, hi, how are you?
You're close. You're close, Scott. Hey.
Yeah, I'm gonna get there, buddy. I'm going to get there, but my shorts are making my channel grow. I'm following in your footsteps, buddy. Just hit over 3K.
I saw. Congrats, dude.
Ooh.
Thank you, my friend. But I am going to drop out, guys, because this computer's freaking me, just pissing me off. And now that Zach and Tina are here, it'll be a good discussion. I just once again want to thank everybody who helped me get past 3K. We're gaining subs every hour. It's freaking awesome. Over 1 million views in the last few days. So we're gonna have more shorts coming out, and I hope people actually watch these and get some inside baseball, as they say. But guys, please have a great, fun panel. I leave it to you, Sir Mad of Mad Cheesemo, House Mad Cheesemo. Please take over and have a great night, everybody.
House Madgarian.
And I got
Madgarian, shit. Tina, thank you. Me love, you're here every odd number.
Aww.
So Tina, thank you for being our female representation this week.
I try.
All right, so
I hate this computer. It just froze on me. Guys, I love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Zaxx, so you're coming in late. What was your overall thinking? Like, what was your overall feeling of this episode?
There was a lot of stuff I really liked, and then there were some things that bugged me about it. So I would say, like, we're not doing ratings right now, but the things that bugged me have kind of stuck with me and maybe lowered my score over the last day. But there was some great stuff in it too, like some of the most incredible shots that they've shown us yet. The scene with the 2 dragons and the Navy coming in with that score in the background was awesome. I loved Alicent's entrance with the green dress. I didn't like that they didn't clarify it with us after, like we're idiots, you know?
Real quick, it's even worse than that because during the inside the episode afterwards, he goes, you know, we really felt that it was subtle. I mean, yes, we did explain in specific detail what it meant, but it was still subtle that maybe not everybody picked up on it. What are you talking about, bro?
Yeah, I can't believe they said that after too. That's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, I think George might be a little more involved than we initially thought.
I would say that, like,
as subtle as a bludgeoning with information goes, it was subtle, yes.
the Criston Cole arc really I'm not a big fan of because he's he's lost his agency, it seems like. And yes, he's more sympathetic now than in the book, but he kind of doesn't make any of his own decisions. He got taken advantage of a bit.
Two different characters completely. They're two different characters.
Yes. Yeah. So I just feel like he's kind of getting and then that one scene where he like first of all, you don't talk to cops. And Matt, I even know you know that, right?
Yes.
Don't talk to cops. So she's sitting there and she's not even asking questions anymore. He just outs with it. And that was almost like a if it was a comedy, that's a Three's Company Jack Tripper moment where he just says something stupid out of context and it carries the episode through. But yeah,
you almost expect like her to look at the camera like a
yeah.
What
was
yes, that's what I meant. Like that's the kind of tone it had.
That's what I thought. And then for him to not even clarify after, like, well, so now what's going to happen with this? And then he beats up Joffrey, beats him to death at the thing, and we don't know why.
Joffrey.
I think his name was Joffrey, isn't it?
Was it really?
Yeah, it's
Like,
Yeah,
Joffrey
yeah,
Long
it
Night.
is Joffrey.
Yeah.
So Joffrey, the
Joffrey
Knight of
now.
Kisses.
Oh God. Yeah. Not
What?
anymore.
I thought I heard that. I was like, no, that's not what they named him. They didn't name him Knight of the Kisses.
That's
What does
it.
that long
yeah.
mouth do?
Oh.
man.
So and then the early part with Daemon with this horse. You guys talked about that already. I won't beat it to death, but
Yeah.
it was kind of an odd scene. I thought maybe he was motioning for Cyrex's dragon, and that was going to startle the horse, but then there was no dragon. So I don't know what that was really. But those are nitpicks. Those are nitpicks. It's still a great show.
By the way, everybody's on board with the music, right? Like, that was for everyone. Like everyone enjoys the music
Great. That's great. I think.
Yeah.
because there's a lot of subtlety, and so is Raman Djawahiri.
Yep. Close enough.
Nailed it. And I'm a big fan of his. Like I really do enjoy his work, whether it was on Westworld. I hated the show, but the music was fantastic. His renditions of all of the Weeknd's what was the song? I forgot what it was. High for This? It could have, yeah, I think it was High for This. But it was just beautiful. It's so freaking great. I really like him as a composer, or as for the music in these shows. Like, and there's so many different variations that he uses. Like
Painted Black in Westworld.
yeah, that was great too. The Light of the Seven from, I want to say, season 3 of Game of Thrones. It's just amazing. I love it. And I really love his music, and I thought it worked really well in this episode. It was the first episode that the music hit me, like the score, like really, like, oh yeah, you know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, it hit me too. And that, especially that one scene with the dragons coming in, and that it was that epic score that really carried you through it. I thought it was one of those goosebump scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's an actual score. Like
Yes.
there's weight to it, and care taken. So that translates. When you got a good visual, and then you got someone who's worked really hard on the score, and they've put something into it. It transcends the media.
Exactly. All right, so I guess we're at the wedding now. And this dude could not. For me, he kind of comes off of a dude that could work very easily in She-Hulk. He's such a character of an asshole, of a toxic dude, that, you know what I mean? Like, he very well could like fit in She-Hulk, in the way that they portray men as well. I don't know if I'm alone on that.
Well, he's one of
he's-
Lannisters, isn't he?
He's a Lannister.
That's
Yeah.
what he's like Jason Lannister or his brother.
Right,
that's
but
Ja-
so
that-
is
that's Jason. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
but so were Jamie. So was little dude, can't remember his name, or the dad, can't remember his name. But none of them were this. They weren't a character of a bad guy, of a toxic male, like what this dude has turned out to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was so much more subtlety and nuance to their
he's turned
characters.
all the way up.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I kind of like the character, if I'm honest.
I think that this showed us too that she's still not really playing the game properly, though, and that she's kind of outwardly hostile to the guy, even though he's a dick. We know he's a dick. She knows he's a dick, but
Yeah, she did an
maybe
eye
not the
roll as
time or
soon as he
place.
walked up and said hello.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah,
other
yeah.
people see that stuff, right? So that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, you're right. She's not playing this. She's very subtle at all.
No.
But by the way, I'm glad that we're past the every time she speaks, she's like, nobody will listen to my opinion. Everybody reminds me of my play. At least in this one, she, wasn't. Even though I did appreciate that every time she did say it, somebody was like, "No, dumb. What are you talking about?" and corrected her on it. But at least we didn't even have to have that happen. This of it. Finally, she was out of that space of her, just complaining about her position in life as a woman.
Yeah, she started to remove her head from her own ass, and it was refreshing. And she took
Yes.
control of certain situations, and that's what I like. But I mean, they're setting up that she's going to be a terrible queen, but I think she's playing the role perfectly. And her best moments are. We're not going to see the actress anymore on it,
I mean,
That's too
I
bad.
hope, I hope that they know what they're doing. I hope whoever they brought in to replace them can, and it's not even that high of a bar, to be honest, as far as these two girls, they're acting or whatever. But if everything rides on them, in their performance, taking over these characters.
I
Yeah,
thought those
yeah.
young girls were some of the better actors in the series. So I would agree with the fact that the next two to play them 10 years later better be spectacular, because it's going to take a lot, I think, for me to like the Rhaenyra that isn't the one we already have.
Yeah, especially when she's been so in the real world, so hostile to the fans, and so
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Wait,
It
which
makes it
one?
really
the
hard.
one now or the one that's coming up?
The one that's coming up,
Mhm.
the one that's now, he's embraced the fans, and she overly thankful of it, and she's really embracing the whole culture of everything.
She seems lovely as a person.
hmm
She'll probably
I
end up
think-
playing someone like Spider-Gwen in a live-action movie or something. So I don't think we'll be seeing the last of her.
I liked her in that, and I liked Alicent as well. I thought they could, and especially with her, they really could have left that actress. I think because she looks older, she plays
Oh, yeah.
older well. I thought.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, the chick that plays Alicent, I think she's basically the same age that the character's supposed to be portraying.
Yeah,
But it'd be weird just to replace one
I guess
character, and yeah.
everyone gets a trophy.
Yeah, all right, so let's get back to the wedding here. Let's see. He comes up, he's like, "Hey, I'm an asshole. Did you see me? I'm toxic." And then this guy gets cut off. This is the cousin to Matt Smith is
Oh yeah, to Lady Horseflop. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mean the bronze bitch.
yeah.
And then these oh, by the way, so this is her grown up, right? I doubt you can see my mouse move.
Yeah.
That is the little girl
That's
that
the same
like
one
they're
the king was going to marry 2 years ago.
right,
Yeah.
right. Oh, that was so uncomfortable, that whole scene.
Yeah.
It
It's
was
like,
almost Neil
it's like,
Breen.
I can't have sex with a child.
Yeah.
Although one that's 1 year older, that's a different story.
Oh man, that by the way, the wig on this one did not improve. It is still wiggity whack. Nailed it.
I don't know what it is. It's the one every bit of architecture, every bit of costuming is perfect, but these wigs are just so out of place.
They are. Yep.
His dreads don't bother me anymore. Like I'm cool with them. Like those work for me. Not the other dude. Not the goose eater. Him.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I agree.
Rhaenyra.
His are ridiculous.
Yeah. There's
Yeah,
something that
his
happened
whole
with,
character.
with those dreads outside. I think it might be it because he looked terrible when he's outside
Yes.
in that episode with those dreads.
Oh my god, yeah. And just his whole interact, like, can you not hide? I get it. I mean, I don't have anything against him or his people. But like,
Yeah,
it's
Valerian.
he cannot hide. He can't hide the fact that he has sugar in his tank. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this is a world where, like, I don't know how well that would be accepted. Like, because you know his dad's still in the illusion, like, well, he'll grow out of it. I'm sorry.
What's a bit of buggery between friends at that age?
Like, I get it. You know, we've all been to college, but
Not that college.
but yeah, he just doesn't even try. Like the other dude I think he may just be. I don't know this for sure, but he may just be like, you know, gay for position. Wait, no. What I mean to say is like he's only in this relationship with him for what he can gain in the social hierarchy of things. Does that make sense?
Well, as you see later on in the episode, that guy can take a pounding, so...
He was on the bottom, too. He likes on the bottom.
Yeah. You did see him try and, you know, play the Game of Thrones, and that did not work out for him at all.
So. No, because he picked the worst dude to try to play with. What are you doing, bro?
Yep. Dummy.
Yes, us fellow whores need to stick together. I'm sure that went down well.
Like he's the one that points him out. Like, look, he's over there brooding. He's so angry. Let me go fuck with him. Like, what? What are you thinking? Oh my god! Like, yeah, he looks very angry. I'm gonna go poke him. It made. I don't even know. I guess like what his plan, because like he's explaining to him like, yeah, we're both banging these two, right? We should keep this secret, you know, and protect it, because we're both like we're bringing them. And then what was the point of him doing this? Bored? Like, just boredom?
Could be. And I mean, bloody, what's his name? Lenore shouldn't have even said anything to him, like about the arrangement with him and Rhaenyra. Just keep it quiet. And then, you know, but because as soon as three people know a secret, it's basically out there. You add a fourth into it, the world knows.
Okay. So I think that when when Joffrey goes over and talks to Sir Criston Cole and is talking to him and saying like, "Hey, look, we all know this secret. As long as we keep it safe, we keep them safe." And then like pretty much the next scene, you see him like beating the crap out of him. I think that was why Criston Cole killed the guy. Was because he wanted to, as we see later, he was going to kill him and himself so that the secret would just go away.
Oh, see, I had a different take on it because the girlfriend and I were talking about it after we watched the episode, because she was like kind of wondering what exactly his thinking was behind beating him. And anybody that's seen Deadwood, Timothy Olyphant in there, like, yeah, that's his name. He's an actor. He's really good. Deadwood was awesome.
I hear.
Justified. Yeah. But anyway,
They like to say the C word a lot in that.
Yeah, he had a very he had an anger problem, right? And Hearst was the main bad guy in like season 2 or whatever. And but he could, no, Hearst, not Swearinger. They were allies. Anyway, so yeah, Hearst pisses off him, but he knows he can't attack him, so he goes and he attacks the next guy that he thinks may have something to do with what happened, and just beats the crap out of him. And he does it so many times. He'll get angry at someone that he knows he can't just beat the shit out of. So he goes and he picks a fight with someone and beats the crap out of them instead. That's what I felt like, because he wants to attack the Valerian dude, homeboy with the sugar.
Laenor.
Yeah, because he's stealing his girl, but he knows he can't, right? Because that would just mess up everything for his love, for, you know, the woman that he loves. So the next best thing is this loudmouth that came over here talking, talking shit. Like, so he beats the crap out of him. That's what I thought it was. It was just him wanting an outlet for that rage.
Like when people throw shit or put holes in walls instead of hitting the person.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mason kind of turned me around on this, like Joffrey a bit. I think it probably was that. It wasn't a good plan. It was a terrible plan. But in the moment, kill the guy, kill yourself. The secret stays safe. Because you know, with this guy coming up to you in public, it's not going to be a secret for long. And also, before that, though, him and Rhaenyra, like, they've really got to keep that on the DL a bit better than on the boat when they were together all the
Yeah.
time.
Oh,
On
She
a
was
boat?
calling his name and he was walking away from her. He's instantly gone. Like,
Yeah.
but it's okay. Her ability to be subtle about anything is questionable at best. She tells her uncle, "Why don't you fuck me?" Like in the middle of the wedding. Like, what are
Yeah,
you
you're
doing right now?
Yeah.
Like there's living dangerous, like living on the edge, and then there's just asking to be
there's
murdered
white
and
girl
burned
living
at the stake.
dangerously. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
rich white girl dangerous. She's living. That's the problem. Everyone else
I like
pays the
that.
price for it.
Get that shirt made.
What you're asking to be burnt at the stake?
No, living white girl dangerous.
White girl dangerous.
Rich
Yeah.
white girl dangerous.
Rich white
Yeah.
girl dangerous. Yeah, that's it.
Well, did we want to touch on the
The betrothing?
betrothal scene? Yeah, earlier, and how we had to essentially the dying man had to grovel to say, "Hey, let your son bang my daughter."
Oh yeah.
I enjoyed the negotiation that they did with the naming. Like, and I felt like Viserys in one of the rare instances actually stood his ground on, sure, they can have that last name, but when, they're to take the throne, that's just Targaryen.
And he's just like, "Yeah, no one's gonna remember that by the time that they're in there." So
That was my thought too. But
Mhm.
he put in the effort. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when Rhaenys Targaryen comes in and hugs Viserys or shakes his hand, you catch
Yeah.
that how she
Yeah.
touches his hand and realizes he's missing the two fingers. It's like,
Oh,
oh,
he was
Absolutely.
also
are you?
he was also holding a handkerchief at the time, and I thought it was because he must have been sick into it, and that's what it was.
Well, I thought the handkerchief was in his left hand.
It was in the usable hand.
Okay, yeah. So
The
that's
one with
probably-
all the
that's
fingers.
Probably the fingers, yeah.
But yeah, she definitely caught like there's something wrong with your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they both are like, "Hey, why don't you come get a chair and we can finish talking about this?" And he's like,
Dude,
"No."
I
we're gonna
love
do
the
this
fact that he's
now."
like, no. He's like, sick people sit in chairs. If I don't sit in the chair, therefore I'm not sick. I'm standing.
Yeah, it's the idea of like if you're an actor and you have to play drunk, the way to do it is to pretend like to not be drunk, to try to act as if you're not drunk. So it's with him and sick. He's like, no, nobody will notice if I act like I'm not sick. I'm really good at hiding these things. Nosebleed.
Well, he's standing, trying to like keep his dignity. He's like, "No, I'm a king. I'm gonna do this standing up," and it's just by the end of the episode, it's just not working anymore.
Well, not just that. If he's sitting down and Corlys is up, he has to look up. He's standing. He has to look up to him. He wasn't greeted, so the king has to travel to this place, has to climb up all these stairs, do all that. Then he has to sit down and look up and basically beg to be to join the families.
Yeah,
Imagine that
Well,
negotiation going down with one of them sitting and one of them standing. It goes differently.
It's his own fault too, though, because like he listened to his old hand instead of, you know what I mean, like
Yeah, his hand was poisoning him, literally, like double metaphor as well. So
Oh, that's a good catch. But he keeps taking on these slights and just shaking them off, thinking like, you know what, I'm gonna do this and it's gonna be better for the realm. But he's not realizing that by letting them tarnish the crown, that's eroding one of the pillars. Like, you need a strong line, but you also need a strong crown. And by letting them tarnish the Targaryen name by like slighting him, he's kind of destabilizing it, the whole realm, by trying to do the right thing.
I think it's a calculated risk that he's looking at because he needs these, his house and the Valerian house to be aligned. If what Dum Girl, I forgot her name, I'm not even gonna learn it, forget it. But if she's gonna be queen and have any chance of like of maintaining her titles in BS or whatever, like she's going to have the backing of the most powerful
when you control
house.
all the dragons, when you control all the dragons,
Exactly.
you control the sky, you control the sea, no one's going to say anything.
Yeah.
They're going to go, no, bro, I didn't kneel at the time, but I'm kneeling now because I had bad knee back then. I swore my oath, but you didn't hear it, you were out. Like, I'm with you.
Exactly. Like, so it's weird because like I said about the creators and the writers, they're like, no, it was the man's fault. Like in the book, it was the girls, but now, no, it's not their fault. It kind of has to be, bro, because he's going out of his way to make sure that she has the strongest chance, like a strong chance of maintaining her position. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he's much more caring, and he's much more adamant about her being an heir in this than it is depicted in the book. So, and
she's done nothing to help herself at all.
No, that's the thing. Like, you get to see it more, obviously, because there was no real story with the books. It was just a third person retelling of it. It's good to see where they got to and how they got to it. Now I understand how people wouldn't trust her as the queen, because she's a child, like mentally as well, sort of thing, and yeah, especially with that's next episode. We'll talk about it then. But yeah, it makes things easy for people to believe that she's not worthy. So I mean, I get that more so now than I did when I was reading it.
Boost makes a great comment. Viserys genuinely cares about Rihanna and has shown it many times. Yeah, Rihanna.
Ella.
Yeah. And she's all horny and emo and shit. That's a great description of their like maybe it was the 2 episodes ago when he's like, no, you can marry whoever you want. I'm with you on this one. And she's like, oh, okay, like, because she's like, you're trying to force me in as a pawn, and he's like, no, dumb, I'm trying to do what help you be happy. What do you? And I'm like, I was like, you better go hug him. You better go. It was Jon Snow and his pupper all over again. Like, I'm there screaming, touch, you know what I mean? Like pet your pupper. He's such a good boy.
He's a good boy.
Like, your father is trying, Rihanna. He is trying his best.
You should call her Ray Skywalker.
Yeah.
She's Ray Skywalker.
I like the performance by Viserys in that scene with the negotiation. Though you could see in his face him doing the math of the calculations of, okay, I've already come this far. I do need this alliance, but I can only give so much. So there was a point where he kind of like bit down and was like, no, I can't do that. We'll do this. And I thought that was really well done by the actor.
I think he is doing the best. Like him and Matt Smith are definitely at another tier than everyone else in this show. They're just operating on an entirely different level.
Who would have thought you got Paddy Considine, who's basically more known for his comedic sort of roles, and you got Matt Smith, who tried desperately hard to shake the role of the Doctor, and like they're their own characters in this, and it's fantastic.
I mean, I don't watch Doctor Who. This is the first time I've ever seen this Matt Smith guy. And then I watched Morbius. I'm like, oh shit, it's that dude.
It's Morbin time.
Yeah. And think about how much better Morbius would have been if there would have been more of a development of the villain.
I thought the movie was really fun.
Oh, I'm not saying it was a bad movie. I loved it.
Well, it is. It's a bad movie.
I love all great movies.
Oh, yeah, so that's one way of saying
everyone
it.
in chat knows if Tina likes the show or a movie, it's good. If she doesn't, it's bad. That's how it works.
Exactly.
So when she says good movies I like, bad movies I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Foolproof.
It's a system that has not failed her once. So
exactly, it makes it very easy.
I have no problem admitting that I love some horrible movies. Like Lil Man, every time I watch that movie, it cracks me up. Every time.
So
love it.
Well, I will admit that this show is better than Loki and Moon Knight.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I'm
it took me a while to get there. You have to understand.
I'm so surprised to see someone go out on such a limb by themselves to say that this House of Dragon is better than Loki.
Big step.
So beautiful, so brave. Oh man, it is a great. I really digging this show, and I mean, we can't say it enough. It is just full on taking a shit on Rings of Power at this point. Like there, as many people that are trying to come and defend Rings of Power. And don't forget, there was a lot of articles before we got to see it, but everybody else got the whatever they're called, not the samples.
screeners.
Yeah, the screeners. They're like, Rings of Power is just embarrassing House of Dragon. Like, whoa,
Yeah.
that did not age well. Because now we've seen it.
Also, I love this scene when he just walks in, doesn't say a freaking word.
No.
Some of his best work, he doesn't say a word. And just that smile. It's like, of course I was gonna fucking turn up.
Yeah.
And the king's just
Yeah.
like, oh, I've got no energy. Just get him a chair.
Yep.
Oh, and don't forget the green dress. Oh, as you know, the light of the tower when they call the banners is green. That's important to know here.
That's word for word, chat. He's not even reading a script. He just remembered it.
It was like
He's a limp little finger.
yeah, I hated that moment because like it was one.
Yeah.
It was barely better than She-Hulk looking at the camera and be like, "Hey, that's what's his name."
Yeah. See, if they wanted to include it, the only one that needed to be was Clubfoot to look at his brother and just says, "You remember what the color of going to war is?" And then he just smiles or something like that. So then it's like, oh wait a minute, is it the green? Is that what
Green.
it is? But then when they go, yes, green, I'm like, it's like, oh, just cut that line out.
How did this line get written in the same one where the Clubfoot guy was in the garden? He was like,
Yeah, I know.
this
Like,
flower was from
it should be him.
Dorne.
It should be
By
him
all
saying
means,
it. Like,
it shouldn't be blooming here, yet still it thrives. And he looks over to Allison, referring to her as the flower, obviously. And then
Well-
in this one, it's like green dress. That means she's going to war.
But it's also the same episode where they're like, "You like goose or chicken?"
Yeah.
I'm asking if you want the poon or the ass. That's what I'm asking. If you can't get that.
well, like in the books, it's just like I'm not fond of fish, but if it was put in front of me, I have to do what I have to do. You have to eat your meal. That's put like so. I got that sort of reference to it, but like I got confused which one was the gay one at the end of it. Like, wait, is that?
Oh yeah, the girlfriend too was like, "Wait, so she's gay too?"
Yeah, because she says, "Oh, I don't like geese. It's crazy." I'm like, "But isn't that? But doesn't wait?" And I'm doing that thing on my head, and then I had to go and rewind it. I'm like, maybe they're being a little too subtle.
Well, there's fans who swear that Rhaenyra and Alicent are gay together.
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't even hinted at that in this show.
Oh,
Like,
I know. It's weird.
Well, don't worry. The next few episodes, they're definitely going to fuck each other up. I mean, fuck
Oh,
each other
yeah.
up.
Over, I thought, but yeah.
But like that is one. I think they are struggling with trying to, depict those two as ever being friends rather than just saying hi to each other in the hallway after school or some shit.
Yeah, it's an odd relationship because one scene it seems like they've always been enemies, and then another scene it seems like they just want to be friends. Like especially the episode before last, it was just I don't know. And
Well,
again, another
they
thing,
keep telling
the
us-
weirwood tree. What's going on with that one weirwood tree constantly all
yeah.
the time?
I don't know.
Well,
but
somebody's
they keep
watching,
telling
right?
us. What? Oh, so
That's got to be what a tree is. Why they're always in that. They're always doing something secretive around that tree.
Yeah. I
The
don't
end
know.
of season
And
one,
also,
you get the end of
they
season
didn't
one.
mention
You get
Mushroom in this. I thought for sure that was going to be Mushroom playing on the drums.
It's member
Yeah.
Oh, I
names.
know. I was hoping we
little
were getting
dude.
a mushroom
Yeah.
shout out.
I'm like,
Yep.
I tried to see if he had a giant package or anything as well, but they didn't shoot the camera below, so I had no idea whether it was him or not.
by the way, this dance. We didn't need this dance.
No. It was a long dance.
Yeah. Like
Is that
it-
This
I
is-
didn't care.
foreshadowing? I don't know what that is.
Good Dragons down, yeah. I stopped halfway through it and I went, wait, does everyone learn this dance? Like,
Yeah, I thought that too.
Oh,
When-
it's
when?
no, it's called social. What is it called? Like where like you can just pick up information that other people know.
social cues.
Not subnot. No, it's mitosis. Nope.
Oh, mitosis. Like,
Yes. Social like it's line dancing. You know what I mean? You ever been to a country western bar? Everybody line dance. Like, man, when did everybody have time to learn these steps? Like, no, you get there and like, you know what I mean? Like you
It's
just
like,
look
osmosis.
it's like in musicals. when
Osmosis,
someone
that's
starts
it.
Dancing and singing, osmosis. It's like when someone starts singing and dancing in musicals, everyone just automatically knows how to do it.
By the way, this screen where I got to pause, right? You see Sir Prissy Boy, Christopher.
Criston Cole, we'll call him.
Yeah. It's oh man, this show, dude. There's so many great moments, and then you see this like, no, we're gonna have him facing this way, you know, while everybody else is watching, so like the audience will know he can't even stand to look. Like it's so obvious that he just looks like a pouty fucking teenager.
Yes, he does.
He's at the school dance. He's at the snowball recital. The Frost Night dance. Whatever, you get it. And he's like, "Oh man, my girl's over there dancing with that dude." And his bros are like, "Yeah, but that dude's gay." No, like, "Oh, he's gonna take her from me." I'm pretty sure he's. I'm gonna go beat his face in.
Yeah, you're like, dude, you can't beat him. He's the prom king. Okay, what about his best friend? Yeah.
I should have been prom king. No one voted for you.
Yeah.
He's basically just thrown his whole life away. Like he's worked really hard as a warrior, got put up to the highest honor a knight can get by getting anointed to the King's Guard, and he's kind of just thrown it all away. And now he's trying to figure out, like, what am I supposed to do now? Like my whole life is possibly ruined.
Yeah, like
I
because
could be executed or
but that was the whole point. Like in the books, he was disgusted by the proposition. It's just like, you want me to risk everything for what? And that's what turned him against her in the books. He was disgusted by her actions. In this one, he's a freaking puppy dog for her.
But yes, he is.
He's too old for that. Like, because like it is something that happens with teenagers. Yeah, as soon as, like, you know what I mean. Like that first chick, like you're 16, 15, whatever, right? Like you're like, oh, this is the one, because you ain't never been, like you ain't been in before. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, okay, awesome. Like whatever it is about men and brains, something doesn't click for a little bit. That no, there's more of them.
But there's no way that was his first with her, because he was a warrior and everything before he was even knight. It's only been the last few years.
Then explain why he's acting as though this was his first time.
Because the showrunners decided they wanted him to look like that. That's all it is.
They wanted the pretty man to be all pouty.
Yeah.
They want
I mean,
all
really,
fans to fall for him. Honestly, I totally did. I think he's the cutest guy on the whole show.
I think he is. He's definitely the most attractive looking bloke there. But like I think it's because he's playing like Criston Cole, and I really hated that character in the books. Like, I mean, I enjoy the character, but I just hated that character. And this is a completely different character. So seeing him like that, I'm just like, okay, so this guy, I can understand how he was able to, like him being that good looking and that everything like that, constantly having women fawn over him, sort of thing. I'm like, okay, that's showing how much of a virtuous sort of person that he is. But no, the first chick he does, he's just like, yep.
I mean, in the book, there is more.
I bet you he's a climaxer as well.
He said, "I love you" the first night. But I'm trying. I don't want to get too, because I have to get going. But I want someone to explain to me how the hell that fight started.
We don't know.
It could be stand your ground laws. Maybe he's saying the guy was coming right for me, and I had no choice but to beat him to death.
I first thought he was defending the princess's honor, where she's like, "You're coming over, telling me that I'm gonna, making accusations that I'm fooling around with the princess."
Yeah, but he also says, "Oh yeah, but I'm banging that dude." You know what I mean? Like, we have something in common.
Right, but I think it bothers him because it's just his cloak is getting dirtier and dirtier every time more and more people know about what's going on.
Oh,
like,
that's nice.
You're the
I
only
like that
one out
Tina.
of the four of us that likes vagina. The rest of us like willies.
It's almost he was like, yeah, we're gonna be Eskimo cousins. It's a little different than Eskimo brothers.
Yeah, that's what it was. Maybe he thought he was going to get tainted somehow or something with it. Like, maybe he's just extremely homophobic.
Yeah, Dr. Anonymous colleague. Yes, he is celibate now. He took a vow, but I think in the hunting episode he talked about how, like, I used to slay. Which, by the way, could have just been him trying to impress her. You know,
And it's important to note there is a difference between celibacy and chastity. And he said twice that they took a vow of chastity.
oh, and the difference, just for the dum-dums that don't know in the chat, you want to explain the difference?
There's a difference. It's the same difference that the Roman Catholic Church has between priests and nuns. So men
course,
can
of course.
basically masturbate, but women cannot because their vow is of chastity.
Okay, so he cannot masturbate, right? That's
Exactly.
yep.
But
That checks out. That's the same understanding I had.
Yeah, but like
the
he
difference.
wouldn't have taken that
Okay.
vow until he became a knight, though.
Right.
Very true.
Yeah.
So yeah, you saying
Well,
that guy from Dawn looking that way and everything? Yeah, he was getting
Yeah.
some.
He slayed for sure.
Yeah. Maybe he was just so backed up and just like doesn't remember. Maybe he has a traumatic brain CTE from battles, you know, and he doesn't remember any of the chicks before. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I mean, in the
I
book,
see.
he turned her down. He shot her down.
Yeah,
So he didn't need it then. But in this, it's like, oh my God, I need you.
I like this subtle hug with no arms that they do in the middle of the.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this one, like, well, why don't you just fuck me? Bitch, we had a wedding. We're in public.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's he saying? In other words, why don't you just kill all the King's Guard and take me here and now? And as part of this, just like, okay, I know a fight breaks out. Is this what happens?
Yeah, so the first time I saw this, I thought it was because Daemon had like leaned in and kissed Rhaenyra that the fight breaks out. But then it cuts away from that and just shows Sir Criston beating the crap out of Joffrey.
And I
And
think
Daemon's
the
gone.
king believes it's the same thing. I think the king thinks that because he saw that little catch of the two of them when Daemon grabbed the back of her neck.
Yeah.
So I think he thinks they're what caused the big fight.
Yeah, there could be something like that. Anyway, mate, you have to take off,
Yeah,
buddy.
I do. I have another stream that I got to get to. So, yeah, make sure that everybody tells Scott next week, like, Scott, why didn't you have Mad from the House of MrGrantGregory back on? He was the best part. Like, why do you shun him from this stream? Well, not next week. Maybe the week after.
Sounds good, buddy.
Yep. But, yeah, thanks, everybody, for being here. Thank you for having me on, Scott, if you're listening. Zaxx, I don't know if we've ever actually streamed together.
I don't think so. I think this is our first.
Yeah, I see you around.
Yeah.
I think I follow you on Twitter.
I think we played it. I think we gamed a bit with Yeti at one point.
Oh.
That makes
Did
sense.
Yeti... Oh, wait. Has Yeti ever explained to you how aliens and Congo are basically the same beat for beat?
No. Do I want to know that story?
Yeah, ask him about it. Let him explain that nonsense. Tina, who's great streaming with you. I wish we could do it more. Grant.
Yeah, I'm here.
And Mason.
Do what? Sorry.
Well said,
Cool.
buddy. Well said.
All right, bye, guys. I got to go. Bye.
Right. Later, Matt.
All right, so basically, what were your thoughts on that the last fight with it? Like, we don't know what happened, but does anyone have a theory? Like, this will be theory time.
Well,
I think that Criston Cole won by knockout.
Well, yeah, I think like maybe he just said this is how you make mincemeat. So
So,
I don't know why, but the way everyone was looking around different things, I felt like this was a coordinated attack. This was
You're right. There was a lot of like looks and kind of side eye and everything going on between the high towers.
But I just don't get what yeah, I'm thinking the only way it would work would be, it'd have to come from Alicent, because there's no way that Criston would listen to anyone else at the moment, because he's now on Team Alicent because he snitches and everything. Which, God, I hated that scene, idiot.
Yeah, that was bad. That was bad. I don't
Like,
know if that
I
could-
might have known something about something or other. All right, I did it.
But she would have never had a chance to tell him to do that, I don't think, at the wedding.
No, but I'm thinking coming from the high towers and all that around, and there's plenty of people moving around and doing different things. Maybe it didn't come directly from her. Maybe it came from, what was Otto's brother's name? The heir to the High Towers. They made a point of mentioning him when he came in. I can't think, but yeah,
Remember.
him and his family that were sitting together. I definitely think there's something going on with that, and even like Coriolis didn't seem all that worried, and then Strong is that his son or his brothers?
I believe
That's his
those are his
son.
sons. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I thought. Yeah, because Scott was saying brother. I'm
Breakbones.
like, I thought there was only the two brothers.
Yeah, I think it was the Lannister brothers, and were the ones that were looking to marry Rhaenyra, and then same with Harwin Strong, because in the books, Harwin Strong is who Rhaenyra runs
Well, he's
to
the
after.
one who takes her maiden's head, which is
Yes.
yeah.
And I think that's what in the books. That's what makes Criston more upset. Is it's not even like she proposed, getting with me because she cared for me that much. No, as soon as I said no, she went to Harwin.
Dude, yeah, literally, she ran into his arms in the hallway. Like that was that whole thing. Which was a kind of a nice little throwback when they had that scene, the episode beforehand when she went to the sex show, and then she ran into him in the laneway. I'm like, oh, they're doing this now, okay.
Exactly.
But then that was just a bait and switch for Cole.
Right.
But yeah, it's an interesting dynamic, because that's part of the reason that they all think that she's not worthy, and they're hinting on it with the other kids. So I don't know if that means that she's going to have a relationship now with the Strong. I can remember Clubfoot. What's his name? The other one, the one
Harwin. Harwin.
Yeah, doesn't he have a nickname or something as well?
I don't remember.
I can't remember, but yeah, with her and that, like, and they said three kids, so we're going full 10 years. So yeah, I don't know.
The son is Breakbones. He's supposed to be the strongest knight in the realm. Is what they said, but they didn't cast him properly, though. I don't think, because he doesn't look like he's not like the mountain in that room. He's tough enough, but not intimidating, really.
No, he's very pretty. He's got more charisma than he has intimidation.
Agreed.
I would, yeah, absolutely.
That being said, you could not have found a creepier guy to play Clubfoot, unless you got like DJ Qualls or someone in there or something.
He almost looked like a SNL character to me. It was it's like fairly over the top. Well done still, but the guy went all in with the Clubfoot.
Oh yeah, I absolutely agree with that. But I think that works, because even the way in which he moves like a snake. He's very slithery. He's very they're like, you do not trust this guy, and people are going to go like, I like this guy. I'm going to trust you.
It's more than that. It just, he doesn't give off this like dangerous vibe. Like, he's not like a big hulking knight or anything. He's just some guy who's going, and he just sits with the women because he can't do anything because of his foot, and he's just kind of like helpless. Maybe not like trustworthy, but not like malicious. Maybe like he doesn't give off this like super dangerous vibe.
They mistake his meekness for weakness. Speaking of someone who's not meek or weak, Christie, how you doing?
Hello.
Christie, Scott's gonna be so upset. He's not here when you are.
Well, I don't get off until like after 8:30, so by the time it's like the last 30 minutes or so, I was just like, I'll listen. But yeah, I hate stuff. I hate the show.
Oh no! Why not? Why do you hate the show?
It's not consistent. I mean, I like the first. I like the opening scene of this episode.
What is it? What is it that you? I know, because you're somewhat of a purist when it comes to
I'm
books
a very much of a purist when it comes to the books. It's more like, do y'all hear anything, like any feedback on my end or anything?
No, I think you're good though.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. But I just don't like it when the ages are off, with how and how the Valerians are. I don't care what color of the rainbow the actors are. I just don't like that narrative type thing. I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna shut up now. But what are y'all on? What are y'all talking about? Where are you all in this episode?
Right as the fight is happening.
And how everyone loves Criston Cole because he's completely 100% book accurate.
No, he's not.
No, that's I was just saying, like
That's not even how Joffrey dies in the fucking book.
No, I know. That's what, like they're playing fast and loose with the narrative and different parts, and to the point where it's not taking me out of it. I think because we hadn't had a full-fledged storyline, basically, essentially just an outline. I'm okay with it, and because it's told from the perspective of 3 different people, you don't really know what happened. So there's enough wiggle room for me to go. Yep, I can deal with it. I just don't like what they've done to Criston Cole. Me personally, I think he was a guy in the story that I hated, but because he was so good.
Exactly.
It's just like, you turned down the queen because of your freaking virtues. You're an idiot. And then now I'm like, I can't believe he did that. You should have turned it down. You're an idiot. Like, you can't. But he's 2 different characters. At the moment that he hit Daemon in the back at the jousting thing, I was just like, this is a different character.
He seemed like more of a bitch in this episode too.
Oh, dude,
absolutely
so
a bitch.
I mean, it just came off so well, and even when he hit Daemon in the back of the head, it was okay in that first episode. But it just like, I mean, what happened?
So with Joffrey not dying now, what do you think they're going to do later on when he's actually supposed to die?
I think they're going to cancel the banquet. I mean the wedding and the rest of the tournament and stuff.
That's what I was thinking. Because it did appear that either that happened that night, that they got married, or no one cleaned up in 7 days. So there's still blood on the floor. So.
I think it was a shotgun wedding for sure.
Oh yeah, they like cleared everybody out and did the wedding that night. I think they even said as much in the after episode.
Do you remember? Because after Joffrey died, I really wanted to see how. So spoiler alert! If you don't already know, I'm sorry, but Laenor dies. I'm just saying. I mean, he's gonna die.
Oh, what? Oh no.
Yeah, he's gonna die. But I want to see how they're gonna portray
Burying
it.
you guys. God, I'm sick of that trope.
How they'll do it, because I like it is.
This might be a dumb question. Will they? Do you still think they will?
Will they kill him?
Yeah.
They have to.
Because we don't know what they're doing with Daemon and like Rhaenyra and everything. Like, we don't know where they're because they've played fast and loose with so many different things in the series. It's almost feeling like a new series, a new interpretation. So I don't know. There's part of me that thinks that it's going to play out completely different. We're going to get to the same endpoint, but the journey along the way is going to be completely different.
You have to be at least true to the books, somewhat at least. I would hope.
Yeah,
I would think in order for them to keep up the thought that the Targaryens are this incestuous kind of family tree, that
hey buddy,
they have to get to the point where Daemon and Rhaenyra are friends again and on the same side.
I'm sorry, it's been in that book for years, so I just, at this point, it's just like it's like when Robb Stark died. I knew that shit.
Dude, I'm not up to that yet. What are you doing? Oh, Jesus Christ!
But this is a lot of checkboxes to kill off, right? That's 2 checkboxes. So I don't know.
I don't know. What did y'all like about? So okay, I'm derailing this. I'm so sorry. So y'all got to the point of the fight. What was did I miss it, or maybe I just wasn't paying attention? Did it look like he was egging on Criston, Sir Criston?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Did
Totally threatening him about, you keep your secret,
See,
I'll keep your secret if you keep mine.
I don't think it was a
also
threat, but I think he perceived it as a threat. Because
Yeah.
I didn't, and as soon as someone said that was a bit of a threat, I'm like, that wasn't a threat. I'm like, oh, but he would think it is a threat.
Yeah, I think that Joffrey was trying to make an alliance. Like he's like, hey, guess like we're all kind of on the same team. I'm
Eskimo cousins.
I'm Laenor's boy toy. You're Rhaenyra's boy toy. As long as we're working together, we're gonna be okay. We're gonna keep them all safe. And he's thinking like, yeah, I got a Kingsguard in my pocket now. We're all gonna do really good. But Sir Criston is thinking like, this dude is dangerous. Like he's blabbing to me in a wedding in public that like all of our secrets. There's only one way to keep them safe. I have to kill him, and then he goes to the garden and tries to kill himself to make sure that the secret dies with both of them.
Well, Criston Cole assumes that he can't, like, he knows he can't keep a secret, right? So he's going to assume everyone else can't either. So he knows the game's over.
Yeah, not everyone's a snitch though.
Well, no, but Criston Cole thinks they are because he is immediately snitching on himself.
Yeah, but he doesn't know the quote-unquote Game of Thrones.
No.
Well, so Joffrey
In all
says,
fairness, neither does
as long
Rhaenyra.
as we're safe,
That's
they're safe,
true.
or something like that. So
What,
if you
Mason?
take off the board, so Joffrey said, as long as we're safe, they're safe. So if he takes both of them off the board, then that puts Rhaenyra.
That's true. I didn't
the
think of that
safest
way.
I didn't
path,
think. Yeah.
Interesting.
at least
Yeah.
from his perspective.
Mason coming through from behind.
Mason, I listened to that when you told us the first time. I was with you then, too.
So it ends with the wedding itself. Wait, hold on. So did Allison find him afterwards, or
Yes, that was the right as the scene. It was actually, I thought it was in between the wedding and in between the fight and the wedding, because I think the wedding is.
You see him beat Joffrey, and you see the like rubber skull thing that they use.
Bro, that was brutal.
And he pushes him off, and then he sits there for a minute, and he goes to the Godswood, takes off his armor, and has the knife ready to Sudoku himself. And then that's when Allison finds him, and then the next scene is the wedding.
Have y'all brought up with Viserys and his health?
Yeah.
Okay. I won't backtrack on that. But that's weird. The Maester thing, for those of you who
I think the Hightower conspiracy or the Maester conspiracy is definitely playing out more so in the series than the books. I'm almost convinced of it now.
Because you just see that, you hear the acolyte talking about herbs or something like that, and the Maester dismiss him, and Viserys is asleep, out of it, whatnot. But I don't understand why the Strong. I always forget his first name. Is it
Lionel?
Lionel Strong. He's the father. I thought he was no. That's Harwin, who is the lover.
Yeah. Harwin's the lover. Lionel's the father, and Clubfoot's his son.
So I do have to ask, Clubfoot, is he like at obviously he's kind of looking at Varys in a way, but does he toe the party lines a lot more than what Varys would?
Yeah, I don't think he has his hand in that many pockets. I think he's the guy that has the information, but he doesn't have the resources or anything to be able to do like what Varys has. He didn't have the network.
Well, maybe I didn't think about it like that, but I don't know. I just I didn't read much into his character all that much, or I just didn't pay attention to it. I need to go on my Audible again and just listen to the World of Ice and Fire, just whatnot. But
Yeah, start at chapter 11.
oh, that's amazing that you know that.
Yeah, because that's the Council 101.
That is the Council 101.
Yeah.
So what did y'all overall? Did y'all talk about the episode more? Like,
Yeah,
what you thought of it, or
overall, I'm happy with the series. I'm happy where it's going. It's got the thing for me that this has done. It's got me back into reading the books, listening to the audio books, and getting
Sure
involved
it
in the
did.
world again. So I'm not saying that I've fallen back in love with the whole world or anything, but we're on speaking terms again. So it's a good start.
nice? Zach, Mason, Miss Tina.
So I'm not familiar with the Fire and Blood or World of what was the other one?
The world of Ice and Fire, or a World of Ice and Fire.
The World of Ice and Fire is the more abridged version.
Yeah.
So I like right now I'm reading A Feast for Crows, and the rest of my knowledge is just like from watching other people.
I have that
do
too,
Lord
Zach.
of the Rings. But like I'm pretty happy with what we've seen so far. I think they have a little more ground to some changes in the story, because they've set it up to be, the story was written from a Maester who took three different unreliable
perspectives. Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
And if we are to believe that we cannot trust the Maesters, then how can we trust the word that was in the book? But
That is
speaking of
true.
someone you can trust, Sherpa Schmo with $10, thank you very much, says, look, I get it, guys. I want book accuracy too, but in my opinion, the presentation and adaptations we are getting from this show, from the books, are far better than Amazon's doing with Rings of Power. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. But yeah, even if we take the Rings of Power stuff out of it, I'm still happy with what I'm getting, because I think the show's quality outweighs any of the lore things that normally I can't get behind.
Yeah, I mean the show is entertaining, even if it's not a direct one-to-one from the book, or I guess they've taken a lot of changes.
I mean, apart from the full-blood Valerians, that's 100% accurate.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And people, like, I've had to argue. I've legit had like little mini arguments and DMs with people who's just like, "You're so negative," and they're like, well, "What about the Rings of Power?" And I was like, "I literally don't give a shit about the Rings of Power. I've never read the books. I've never watched the movie, any of the movies, so I don't care. I'm not invested in it. You don't see me on any panels on it or
Wait,
talk about it.
You've never seen Lord of the Rings?
No, I don't give a shit about that.
I'm the same as Christie. Never saw any of the movies, never read any of the books, didn't even see the Hobbit cartoon as a kid.
No.
Never read The Hobbit in 8th grade. None of it.
None of it.
Girls, am I right?
I had to read The Hobbit. I was assigned The Hobbit like 11th or 12th grade of high school, and I fucking hated the book. I couldn't stand it.
Ooh.
Babysitter's Club. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly.
See, for me, it was Hickman and Weiss from day one. I was all Dragonlance from the minute I could read a chapter.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. All right, guys. So we're gonna wrap it up here. We'll just go around and give final thoughts of the series so far, and what we're hoping with this cast change and everything that's going on. So we'll start with Zaxx.
This episode I give it like a 7, maybe a 7.5. It's good, but there's some nitpicks maybe, but they bothered me in some of the changes I didn't like with Criston Cole. But otherwise, it's way better than what else we're watching, and that may be part of why we like it so much to an extent, because Rings of Power is so bad. But yeah, 7.5 for this episode, I would say, and overall, I like the show a lot. I'm enjoying it. even though I know it's not the books, it's not accurate, but I'm enjoying what they're showing us for the most part. I want to see where it goes now with the new casting, and yeah, let's I want to see what they do with some of the messaging stuff too. But so far, so good.
And what are you looking? Are you looking forward to the cast change? Do you think it's going to be good or a bad thing?
Because like what you said before about the Rhaenyra actress who's kind of already been speaking out, I'm not excited about that, but I'll give her a chance to give a good performance regardless. I like the Alicent actress a lot, and so I wish that they didn't make that change now, but we'll see. We'll see what she looks like as well. But this one did a fine job, and she looks the part still. She's the right age to play the second half of this part as well. So it's an odd change, but I guess they had decided they had to do it. So we'll see. I'll give them both a chance.
I mean, personally, I can't wait to see Elon Musk play Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
Put it this way: if Elon Musk was playing Rhaenyra, you should have way more kids.
It's very true. Very true.
True.
And they would definitely be bastards, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Anything else to add, Mason?
Westeros electric dragons. So, I mean, I'm really enjoying this show. And this episode really seals the deal that they're not going to go woke, because they introduced 2 gay characters and they didn't give them any sort of plot armor whatsoever. You know, you have Joffrey trying to play the Game of Thrones, and you see what happens to him. You win or you die. So that puts a little bit more faith into that they have a plan for this, and that it's going somewhere. It's not going to be it's not going to end with the Rings of Power. At least I'm moving away from that. I'm hoping it's going to end pretty good. I think the biggest risk right now is if the actresses, the ones playing the older Rhaenyra and Alicent, can pull it off. I'm hoping they can, but I think next episode will be a determining factor. But yeah, I really like this episode. I've liked the past 4. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Mason. Tina.
I'm thinking about exactly the same thing. The whole season so far for me has been an 8. What would make it a 9 is more dragons, not enough dragons.
More Matt Smith's butt, more dragons.
I want more Criston Cole butt, but Matt Smith's butt was okay too. You know, on a bad day.
So pretty, I don't like him.
Well, my husband says that, you know, as long as he gets to have Alicent, you know, show her front, and I said no sign of that anymore. She's gonna have had too many kids by the time we come back. But I also agree that the biggest concern is how well the older actresses are going to play Rhaenyra and Alicent, because I've really come to appreciate the 2 that are playing the younger versions, and would really like to see them stay for the rest of the season. So
sounds good. And for the person who's been shilling for this series from day one, who loves everything about it, Chrissy, what are you looking forward to?
I hope everyone on the panel and in the chat still goes on loving the show and what they're seeing. If they're not getting it, who they watch Rings of Power, and it's just abysmal. But on the older Rhaenyra, she's fugly.
Yeah. Well,
I agree with that.
She identifies as non-binary, so I don't think we can say she. Oh, I just did. Damn it. I did a sexism. Wait, is it sexism? I don't know anymore. Transism? That doesn't sound right.
Just
genderism?
keep digging that hole.
Yeah.
A pronounism. That's it. A pronounism.
Oh, I'm very anti-noun at the moment. God.
No. It took me. I didn't watch. I had to, when I was at work today, I had to watch episodes 3 through 5, because I had only watched the first 2 episodes. After the second episode, but I was like, I'm done. And then Scott's like, you need to watch them. I was like, okay. So I did.
Oh, well, so yeah, it's still pretty fresh in your mind, and I guess that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, I want to thank everyone on the panel for being here today. Thank you very much to the chat and to all the supporters. Make sure you like, share, do whatever you need to do to help get this stream going on, because let's hope this show doesn't go terrible and we can actually come on stream and talk about something we love instead of just bitching and complaining. For Zaxx, for Mason, for Tina, for Christie, and for myself, on behalf of the Sporking News Network or podcast, whatever it is, have a good night.
That's the most Scott we saw all night.